things get a bit unbalanced. And that is a great way to describe the Young Turks. They're unhinged. Unhinged. The lack of fact-checking, the standards when it comes to fact-checking, it's just, there's no news. I'm not sure if they were always in news or they're just a commentary channel. I know a lot of these news channels are just commentary. They're not really doing news reporting. Like Tim Pool went from something that, was someone that was on the ground doing a lot of underground reporting to just commenting on the news. And it's been very successful for him. And it's fine. But on the ground news and actual, you are the person getting the news. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you are reporting the news instead of talking about other news reports. And the Young Turks do this too. It's just they grab a report from another news outlet and then they report it to you without even reading it. And we know the standards of journalism has gone down significantly as it is because the money's fucked. So you've got this substandard journalism, so the substandard news piece, that's then being regurgitated to you by an even more substandard news piece. So the information that you're getting is even worse. Now that's fucked up. Because if you're taking a news piece, you're going to have to dissect it and say, well, what's this all about? Why is he saying it like that? Did this really happen? Who's this source? This photograph, is this minute, there's the video footage, when it begins and ends, what happened before and after. There's all these variables that you would think you'd look into and go, well, let's dig deep into the truth. Let's deep dive, investigate and find the truth. But they don't even fucking do that. It's literally, like I said, it'll be some reporter who has to turn in 10 stories a day for the clicks, who does a half-ass report, and then some news organization, let's say the Young Turks, and then they read through it, and they haven't even bothered to fact-check or even read the whole thing. They just look at the headline and go, yeah, that'll do, yeah, bruv. And then they're broadcasting it as all their minions. No wonder everything's all fucked up. And this is the problem. If these sources are going to become, the more established outlets for getting news, that's a fucking problem, okay? Because standards are slipping and they don't have any fucking standards. And also they don't have to abide by the standards that newspapers do, even though that's iffy. It's all still pretty fucking iffy anyway. But it's worse, and that's bad. And the market should decide who is the best, who is the most reliable. But the market at the moment, especially when it comes to YouTube-based content, is based on the market goes to who makes them the angriest. Or the market goes to who verifies everything that I think. Who confirms my beliefs. And then you end up with this fucked up situation where they're just regurgitating news in the voice that you like. And not even giving you all the facts. Not even dissecting the facts or trying to contradict the facts. Nothing. Not contradict the facts, but work out if the facts are real. And this is a big problem. And this is a problem that needs to be overcome as we're going forward, that if we're going to adopt these, because they are going to take over eventually. And then you've got to wonder about, well, what's the standard? And who's going to regulate the standard? Because we can't rely on these online fact-checking organizations because they're all politically affiliated, or they get donations from this guy, or they know this. They're all compromised and they're full of shit and they should not be trusted. And it's a big problem when the fact-checkers need to get fact-checked. That's fucked up. You see, there's too much middleman shit going on in here. And, and part of the problem is being on YouTube. These news outlets are just essentially commentary channels. They're drama channels. They're tea channels. They're commentary channels. That's what they are. They're just doing commentary. And like all commentary channels, they need to generate clicks. And in the Young Turks case at the moment, and has been for a while now, they are doing exactly what other commentary channels do. Well, a lot of YouTube creators do, and that's start beef. It's having ongoing beefs. In fact, Jimmy Dore, who used to be on the Young Turks, is beefing with the Young Turks. he's kind of doing that at the same time, whether he knows it or not. But he probably looks at the counter going, yeah, my views is going up, motherfucker. I'm getting more recommendations. Beef. You know, I always said it. YouTube adopted the beef model from hip hop. You know, I mean, we've had rivalries in music before. You know, we had Beatles versus Rolling Stones, Blur versus Oasis. That generated a lot of hype and a lot of sales and a lot of media attention. You know, but hip-hop beef is regular. It's always going on. And YouTube beef is the same. So now we've got a situation. And also, yeah, Fox News and CNN are beefing with each other now as well. But then they get a lot of clicks from YouTube. As much as YouTube would like to say, well, Tucker Carlson, he's a, you know, they'd like to tell you that they agree that everyone thinks he's a white supremacist. Well, they can't do because they fucking promote him all the time because they're the mainstream. And they like that mainstream money. They like being in bed with the mainstream because they want to be mainstream. They are mainstream. YouTube is mainstream. So you got to think, you know, Fox News and CNN having their little beefs. They are beefing. You got to think, you know, this is like Power. This is like Power 105 beefing with Hot 97. That's hip hop radio beef. It's the same shit. And they got news outlets, and then these news commentary channels are beefing with each other. The weird thing is, you know, you'd expect them, all right, Young Turks would go beef with Ben Shapiro or go beef with Roaming Millennial, whoever it would be, you know, Lauren Chen. You know, damn, what a piece of ass. Let's take just a moment to reflect on what a piece of ass Lauren Chen is. Damn. Anyway, so you would expect them to be beefing with them, of course, because, you know, they're on the other side of the political spectrum. They are sworn enemies. But no, because you have to be beefing with people within your circle, it seems, because then everyone sort of cares a bit more. Our fans versus their fans. You don't really see it on the conservative side so much, except for, like, the girls. Like Candace Owens beefing Tommy Lauren and whoever else, you know. Candace Owens loves beef. She should be a rapper. With the amount of beef she likes to stir up, she should be rapping, man. The point is this. You know, the Young Turks at this point beefing with Jimmy Dore, beefing with Kyle Kalinske, beefing with... who else are they beefing with? Beefing with Glenn Greenwald. Beefing with anyone who's on their side of the aisle because they have shared audiences. They're trying to beef their way to be top dog amongst the progressive left's YouTube audience. And they know that this drama is boosting, they must know this drama is boosting their viewership. And then they go after Joe Rogan for some bizarre reason because he's had his audio clipped by someone else for some pro-freedom video. Like, what? Just starting beef for no reason. This is what's been happening to Ethan Klein when he's always searching for some way to beef with someone. Everyone wants to beef with Joe Rogan because he's so fucking big, but he don't fire back because that's not what he likes to do. Because he's a grown-ass man. He's not he's not doing YouTube beef. And it's kind of funny that, you know, now you got Hassan Piker doing a podcast with Ethan Klein, which I believe is on the Young Turks network. Well, of course. Because it's like, well, let's see how much beef we can stir up. Cenk Uygur would look at the numbers and go, hey, you guys can start some beef, can't you? And all your fans are so brainwashed and brain dead that they'll stick with you, no matter how much of a cunt you are. And they're just going to start, and that's it. And they're just like, oh, well, this can generate lots of beef. They're just going around beefing each other. Just beef. Oh, Kyle Kalinske, he's a fucking conservative. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, if Noam Chomsky had a big channel, they probably have a problem with Noam Chomsky and go, he's a right winger. Noam Chomsky, he's fucking right wing as shit. He's more right wing than Ronald Reagan. It doesn't matter. It's like we just need to start some beef because it's getting us clicks. There, you see, there lies a bit of a problem there, you see, because we cannot have the core of news and investigative journalism, everything that surrounds news or our thoughts of news and political commentary, to be reliant on beef. It just can't be like that, you know? That can't be the future. Now, this is a transition period, obviously. Things may change. But as long as we're slaves to these algorithms, you know, the only news you're going to know is just beef. There's going to be Trevor McDonald versus Moira Stewart going, "What you saying, bitch?" And she's there going, "Yeah, you limp dick fuck. Fight me." And then they'll probably have, you know, newscaster boxing events on pay-per-view. I mean, it's a problem. And obviously the money being made from just doing commentary, it would be good. You know, if someone like Tim Paul, who's got a lot of money, and now does expand it out to have more on-the-ground reporting, it would be great. Because the only people I can think of who are doing that kind of on-the-ground reporting, because we have streaming, you know, and a lot of content you see that's on the ground is sometimes by people who are just everyday people. But I guess you do get, I can't remember the guy's name. I actually follow him on Twitter. What's his name? It's Richie something. He's got a bit of a ratty moustache. But he's the one, you know, he was there when Kyle Rittenhouse shot those people. He was there streaming it. He also was streaming live from the Capital One. That's a credit card company. From the Capitol building, the invasion of the Capitol building on January 6th. He was there streaming that too. He's the only one who I think is doing online, you know, on the ground reporting. I guess Andy Ngo is someone who does on the ground reporting as well. I don't know what more left-wing versions there are, because I don't really know. I haven't heard about any. But I'm sure there are some. But they should be bigger, because they're doing something. You know, I'd like to be doing something like that, to be fair with you. Think about my history with it, you know, of how I saw myself, what I saw myself doing. I didn't see myself just chatting shit on a podcast, using dirty, potty words every 5 minutes. You know, it'd be good to have that, you know, people in Kabul. Shit. People in Yemen. We don't know what the fuck's going on in Yemen. It's been going on for years and no one really knows what's going on. Going on in Syria. We don't really have any outlets that are doing that kind of thing. And I think, you know, it's not that we should have access to news about everything all the time and all the doom and gloom of the world. But sometimes it's very useful to have this stuff exposed, to know what's going on. Because then you can make better decisions. You know, especially if you're donating money to charity or you're supporting certain businesses. There's many things you need to know in order to make better moral decisions, let's put it like that. You know. Slave camps. Does this company have slavery? Well, that's not cool, is it? You know what I'm saying? Is this company supplying weapons that are killing innocent children in Yemen? Well, that's not cool. There's many things that aren't cool. Is this company in bed with the CIA and spying on us and stealing all our data? Well, that's not cool. That's called Amazon.